Hey, how's it going, everybody? As Matt would say, welcome back to the Cruise Dynasty podcast. As you can tell, this is not your normal host. Matt's busy doing Halloween stuff tonight, so I'm going to fill in for us, and we're going to get right to it. We're going to do our Week 9 gambling picks, and I got a good amount of stuff from Matt and Phil. They've been hitting hot. Got 7 over-unders, 6 game lines. Shoot, I'm ready to make some money this week, and I hope everybody else is too. So just appreciate everybody for getting in here and listening, and hopefully y'all play some bets down because we are hitting right now. 2 weeks in a row making some money on the over and unders. Last week wasn't the best week that we've had for game lines, but still we're hitting at 57% right now on the game lines, which is pretty damn incredible. And I know I'm in the green this year. Matt's in the green. Phil's in the green. Noah's in the green. I'm pretty sure Chris is in the green. And we're all making money this year. So hopefully y'all been listening to us and picking the best game lines that we put out there. We ain't always going to be right. We're wrong. You know, I said 57%. So that means we're wrong 43% of the time. But that's still good in gambling aspects. Over under last week, we were 9 for 11. Pretty incredible. We got that up to 49% on the season. We told y'all we were going to get it up, and we working on it. We are going to get that way up above 50%. We're going to keep hitting it, and we're going to keep making money. But as of right now, like I said, we got 6 game lines. These are coming from Phil and Matt. This is their forte. And they got one for tomorrow night, which this episode will probably drop tomorrow, which will be Thursday, October 31st, Halloween. So the game tomorrow is the Jets and Houston. All the money is going to Houston. I think they're favored by 1.5, or the Jets are favored by 1.5 right now, and the public is picking Houston to win that game as the underdog. But Matt and Phil thinks it's a trap game. And they're actually going to go with the Jets money line at minus 127 versus Houston. Bet 100, win $127 if you hit that one right on the money. And I could see it. I'm not going to get into all these games, but since it's tomorrow night's game, Houston's missing a lot of their weapons. Stephon Diggs out for the season. Playing in New York, which isn't necessarily home field advantage for the Jets. They don't usually win a lot at home. But Houston's going to have trouble moving the ball. The Jets are going to have trouble moving the ball. It's going to be a close game, and I could definitely see the Jets winning that game. And their next one, Tampa Bay plus 9 versus Kansas City. That's a good one. I like it. Then they got Atlanta money line, minus 152 versus Dallas. Atlanta's playing at home. Yeah, I could definitely see that one going towards Atlanta. Dallas is struggling big time right now. And then Jacksonville versus Philly, over 45.5. Expecting some points in that game. I know Philly can score. Hopefully Jacksonville can keep up, but I like that one. And Arizona plus 1 versus Chicago. They got that one at plus 1. It's now minus 1. Arizona is favored versus Chicago. As a Packers fan, I just hope they're right on this one. We haven't had the best luck with Arizona. They're super inconsistent. We can't figure out their team. But, I mean, I'm just hoping that Arizona can pull this one out for our sake and just for, the NFC North's sake. And they got the Rams at minus 1.5 versus Seattle. I've talked to a lot of people on the phone this week, and everybody that I know has said they think the Rams are going to win that game. So let's hope that pans out. But minus 1.5 versus Seattle. So I'll go over this real quick one more time with the game lines. So Matt and Phil running it this week. They got the Jets money line versus Houston. Tampa Bay plus 9 versus Kansas City. Atlanta money line versus Dallas. Jacksonville versus Philly over 45.5. And then Arizona +1 versus Chicago. They did say this is Arizona -1 now. So if you didn't catch it early, maybe if you still want to take Arizona, they are favored now. They're not underdogs anymore. And they got the Rams beating Seattle, or -1.5 versus Seattle. And like I said, they said that they think that tomorrow night is a trap game because the whole public is betting on Houston to win that game. And they're going to go with Vegas this week. I know Matt and Phil, they do their studying up on these type things. They like to sometimes bet with the public. They like to sometimes bet with Vegas. And I think this, at least for that game on its own, they're going to go with Vegas. And I was kind of surprised the Jets were favored, but when you get to thinking about it, with Houston missing out so many of their weapons and C.J. Stroud not looking so hot, it could definitely be a close game. The Jets are struggling right now, though. All right. Time for the over and unders. And like I said, we have been getting so much better at these as the season goes on. And if you get on, not sponsors or anything like that, you get on Underdog, Prize Picks. We do all this kind of stuff. Some of them are from Underdog. Some of them are from Prize Picks. We kind of go back and forth between the different sites and figure out who's got the best lines that we like. If you catch them early on in the week, you might get a discount. Like, for example, Kyren Williams. Noah caught him on Tuesday at 81.5 rushing yards, and I looked at it tonight, so a couple days later, just one night later, it's at 91.5. So when you catch them early, you can get some discounts, but they don't have as much on the sites as you would like. They don't have it every single game, but hopping on early is definitely a good thing, especially if you're betting the overs, because the public loves to bet the overs on these player props, and it's just going to keep raising that up every single day. And the unders, those are, if you like an under, it's better to get it later in the week because the public is still betting some of those player props up. But we got 7 over and unders for your ass this week. And let me get started with the one that Noah sent me. So Noah last week went 6 for 8 in his, did 2 prize picks, and went 3 for 4 in both of them. He didn't win any money last week, but really good percentage-wise. If he'd have just mixed them up a little bit better, he could have came out on top. But I mentioned Kyren Williams. This is from Noah. He's got it at 81.5. He's going over 81.5 rushing yards for Kyren Williams going against Seattle. Seattle struggles to stop the run. I think this game is going to be close, and you want competitive games with a decent over and under, and I think this game's got a lot of that. All right, me and him have another one in common right here, so I'll go ahead and mention mine with his. We got Javonte Williams under 45.5 rushing yards, and this is based on, we think the game script might be, the Broncos might be trying to catch up. They're 9.5-point underdogs right now, so Bo Nix might have to try to bring them back. And Baltimore has the best rushing defense in the league by yards per game. So we'll see how that one pans out. We don't usually do a whole lot of unders, but we've been getting lucky with them lately. And another one he went with, Devonte Smith, over 59.5 receiving yards. He's done that 4 out of the last 5 times. I think Kellen Moore getting him involved in the slot. He's getting a lot of looks, and he's been very consistent this year, except for that negative 2-yard game he had a couple weeks ago. But he's been very consistent hitting that line. And he's got Garrett Wilson over 5 receptions. This one is, I don't know, this is probably the one that I would say is the sneakiest. I saw that Devonte Adams was at 5 receptions also, which on Prize Picks, if it's not a 5.5 or 4.5, if it just ends at 5, you don't lose. It just pushes your parlay down one. It's just a push. So Garrett Wilson at 5 receptions. I also like, I don't have it in here, but I like Devonte Adams at 5 receptions too. They're going to have to throw to somebody, and they're going to have a hard time running the ball. The Jets have had a hard time running the ball all season. with Breece Hall, and they're going to have to try to get it out to them receivers. So a couple more I got. This is the ones that I sent in. We had the 2 carryovers. I had the Kyren Williams rushing yards, but I had a promo on Underdog. I got him at 59 rushing yards, but he's set at 91.5 now. So if you get on Underdog, you can look at the promotions and see what they give you. And I also got the under on Javonte Williams rushing yards, 45.5. And I got Jahmyr Chase to score a touchdown this week, 0.5 touchdowns over, and Brian Robinson going against the Giants to score a rushing or receiving touchdown at 0.5. I hit the over on that one. And I also got James Cook going against Miami over 67.5 rushing yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't want to do this, but Green Bay's rush defense isn't the best. Jahmyr Gibbs over 65.5 rushing yards. He's been over 100 the previous 2 weeks, and Detroit is just a freaking machine right now. And one for tomorrow night, other than the Garrett Wilson one that Noah had, I have CJ Stroud under 225.5 passing yards. I think they're going to struggle through the air tomorrow night. They're playing a very tough Jets pass defense with no weapons. Tank Dell is his option right now with Dalton Schultz. He's going to have to be spreading the ball around if they're going to succeed. And that is all we got for y'all tonight. So I appreciate everybody for listening. Go out there, go win some money. Matt should be back next week. And, this is the first time ever recording by myself. So tell me what y'all think. Tell me if y'all put in any of these bets and if they going to hit for y'all. But I appreciate everybody for listening. And we'll catch y'all next time for the Week 10 gambling picks. And we got some stuff coming for y'all. And we got a lot of Dynasty talk, a lot of mid-season stuff we're going to get into. So just keep listening to us and we'll have a good time. All right. Peace.